Jasmine. Yes. Woo.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Katlego Talks. If you are new here, I am a fourth year medical student sharing my journey, my opinions, because I am very opinionated, and I'm also I'm sharing my views about my journey in medical school. And usually most of the time I'm complaining about what the hell am I doing here and what exactly am I supposed to survive this hellhole, right? So if you are interested in this type of content, do consider subscribing and liking and commenting down below, because I do live by validations. I love people validating that I'm doing something right. Do you understand? Right. Now, as you've seen with the title of the video, today we are going to we are going to be talking about living with failure in medical school, because I never thought someone who fears failure would actually live with it, right? And it keeps on getting worse every year. And this year, I would just say it's my flop era. I am collecting all the L's in all directions, I meant. Right, so without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, guys, where can we start? Can we start with being a student who needed academic validation to feel alive, right? I would believe that academics are the only thing that gives me purpose in life, right? Before starting medical school, before even starting university entirely, I do believe that academics were the only thing that made me who I am. When they said Katlego Talks, then I knew it has to be something related to academics. I would say I'm a late bloomer in a lot of things, but academics is something that I've grown up this far knowing that I'm a bright child, right? Mind-wise, because that is the only thing that I would say that makes sense in my life, and that's the only thing I thought I'm good at, right? I thought I'm good at understanding concepts easily and being able to apply the knowledge. But as you get older, I thought maybe as I get older, I'm actually losing that skill, right? I had that fear that I would lose that skill, and now it looks like I'm losing it, but it only honestly isn't the case. I don't have an entire structure of how I'm going to break down what I'm going through, because listen, when we talk about flop era, this is my flop era. Fourth year is not a joke, right? Yeah. So I went to this other well-being session, and the session was like, how are you? You know, the theme of the session was, how have you been? How have you been holding up? And in that session, someone said, academics are something I never thought that would challenge me, because I would do the bare minimum and still reap good results, and whatnot. I would use just little effort. I would put just little effort and still get outstanding results, right? And now in medical school, I'm doing so much, but now receiving little result, and that hit home, because I feel like as medical students, we are actually type A personalities, not just personalities, but we are A students. We are people who thrive for excellence, and we are people who really don't know how to, most of us, who never had the trouble of thinking too hard for an answer and whatnot, or if we don't know something, we won't even think too hard, because eventually the teacher will say, Kia, and you'll keep it in your head and it will make sense, right? So now, coming to medical school and being challenged to this point where you also feel not worthy of, like, you feel like your life has always been a lie now, like your past life has been a lie. You feel like maybe the world was always in your favor, and then you feel like you were spoiled, and then no yana papa. Reality kicks, guys. First year happened, engineering first year happened. Yes, there were challenges, but I was still able to survive my first day in engineering, guys. I don't wanna lie, I was able to survive. There were some challenges like calculus, that's why I ran. I get stress you, I guess something I don't see myself being in the future, so I'm leaving. So coming to medical school also created those questions. Is I'm like, I ran from something that was challenging, but also I didn't see myself being that. But that part, yeah, I didn't see myself in the future being that particular in that particular career field. I brushed it off. I was like, I ran from that because calculus showed me flames, and when I got a 60 in one of in my last final intro, I got stressed. If I could get 60 now, what will happen if I continue with this and it becomes more difficult for me? I will get a 50. My lowest mark was a 60 in my first year. I came to medical school, and Clare first semester, I was like, Haibo, you know, but I was able to conquer. I was able to survive, and now it was the beginning of me now settling for less while doing so much, right? But I was still in my lazy era in my first and second year, studying where I can, because coming from numbers, being someone who is good at numbers, and now coming to a degree that has such an inhumane, huge content heavy degree, or work, it was overwhelming. I don't know how many times I felt like my brain was exploding, right? So that was my first failure, not being able to adjust quickly, adapting quickly to the environment or the atmosphere itself. It took so much time, and when I was trying to get a hold or try to have an idea of exactly this is how I should survive this, the environment keeps on changing. We went from BSc having so many modules to now having to second semester now having different modules, but all mixed up into one big module called a block. Now having to write from after a month in first semester to now having to write every week Monday. It was a lot. It was a lot to adjust, and I felt bad for myself. I didn't feel bad. I felt disappointed. I was disappointed in myself to not being able to adapt quickly to that environment, right? That new environment of writing tests every week. And then, while I honestly, I didn't adjust to that. I couldn't adapt to that environment. I was in hell. And it broke me. It broke me in the first year when we did that first block. It broke me. And what broke me the most is not even having a clue of what's going on, right? You know, in high school, in my first year, even if I don't fully understand what's going on in the lecture, but I had an idea, I would, the lecturer is trying to, I would be able to find my way. Then histology happened. Pinky hella in the lecture slides. I was like, what's going on? One time you're like, lecturer, this is a cell. You know, being someone who's like trying so hard to make things simple for myself, I'm like, a cell but I can cut daughter, or will I see it with a second? I didn't get that. The doctor will be like, okay, you can see that this is a cell. How much about this cell? It's not the same as the cell that you learned yesterday. Yesterday's cell was secular and it was white. Today, cell ya teng ka star in a little black. Like, I didn't know. I didn't know how to form a pattern in medical school, right? I was in hell, to be honest. That first block happened, and then done with that block. Now we went from writing every week, every Monday, writing from every Monday into writing every day. Pharmacology happened. My worst nightmare. To be honest, even today, I'm still scared of pharmacology. To be honest, in each and every block that we do, Noyan, I never study pharmacology because I feel like now I was now exposed to an entire different world. An entire different world where I have weaknesses. I know my weaknesses, Noyan. Okay, in high school, I was doing things that I know I'm good at. I wouldn't even think about things that I don't know or I'm not good at. I would focus on things that I am good at. Now, in medicine, you're exposed to everything. Some of them you're not good at, but you still have to do it, and you still have to pass it or try to survive that particular, or succeed in whatever thing they throw at you. Right. First year happened, and then we went from one block to pharmacology. Pharmacology, I had to write every day, and it was 2 weeks worth of content. Doing 3 lectures a day of pharmacology and having to write in the afternoon of that particular content was a nightmare. I was abused. I felt abused. I felt worthless. I never thought in my entire life I'll be clueless of even having like a simple structure of what exactly am I doing here, or having an idea. I didn't have an idea anymore. I didn't know what was going on. I would read a lecture. Ke understand that. 1 minute later, I don't know what's going on. So that's when I felt like ke kopanele thakaka, which is medical school. Ke kopanele po. I thought I was the bull in this territory, but now I am in someone else's territory, and I can't even form my own smallanyana settlement in that particular territory. It was someone else's. I didn't feel like this is my domain, right? Ke survive. Osteology happened. I think it was part of block 1. Osteology happened, and that another fear unlocked, anatomy. Osteology, I failed the first test of osteology, and osteology had its own test. We had 1 test and another test. Was it 2 tests? I think it was 2 tests. I failed that first test. I didn't know. Usually now I'm good at adapting. I can adapt quickly and be able to be like, okay, what is expected of me, and have a pattern or at least a skeletal structure of, okay, mind map. From here I go here, when I'm here I go there. Usually I sacrifice the first test trying to figure out exactly what exactly do they want from me. My fear happened, which is osteology, and I was like, I'm scared of pharmacology, I'm scared of osteology now. Now, osteology is another part of anatomy. If I'm unable to know osteology, the bones only, what am I going to do with blood supply, innervation, muscles, and other things, I questioned myself. I was like, and people will tell me, second year is hard. I was like, but they'll say that first year was kind of fine, but second year is going to be trauma. If I'm feeling like I'm in hell in first year, what will happen to me in second year? Second year was a bitch. Second year was not the best time of my life. I think that's when I was like, okay, this is what we mean by depression. I was depressed by March. March, when we did anatomy, first week hit home, hit hard. It hit like a truck. I was like, no. And I felt trapped. And ever since second year, I've been feeling more trapped than ever. And it hasn't been good, right? It hasn't been good. I said that I lived through academic validation, right? But now, but and I can't talk anymore. Okay, again. And I was so serious you feel like I'm in a therapy session. What was I talking about? Okay, feeling trapped. I was feeling trapped and I couldn't even find again. Okay, hopefully they don't we minding our own business in medicine. So that happened, and luckily I was able to survive. And I don't know how I survived. I survived with blue eyes. I survived with broken limbs, fractured bones, torn tendons. I survived not next but the next. So even after being like I survived, there was no longer happiness. Oh yes, I survived. I didn't feel any happiness. The only thing I would say is that finally I'm relieved. Just like, okay, on to the next one. Medical school doesn't give you a break to breathe. Breathe or try to consolidate or learn from your mistakes. You learn from your mistake on the go. You can't sit down and reflect on what you're doing. And I feel like that's why most of us, you end up losing the person you were before to something you end up being someone you can't even recognize. We jump at every opportunity. We are becoming animals, guys, because of the system itself, how it is structured, how now it's survival of the fittest. People are now reporting past papers that we thought they'll help us. Now you are developing so much anger towards the world. When people are ignorant and whatnot, I become very pissed. I'm just like, you don't even know what I'm going through, and you lacking. So I become angry at the world, because of the system itself, because of how much failure I've been having. Like the ratio of failures versus success or versus wins, it's 100 to 1. I understand. So that's that. We get to third year, a little bit of academic validation, we saw it, but I have trust issues ever since. So even though I was able to pass cardiology and pulmonology, I was still like, I don't think this is my mark. You just like, no, this is not, it's not medical school. Medical school, it's supposed to break me. So that happened. And then surgery happened. I was like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I know of medical school. it has to show me hell. Medical school needs to give me the bare minimum and expect 90 or 100% from me, while it, or 99%, while it's giving me 0.111%, right? So that happened. I was like, okay, I'm happy here. I'm happy with this, how disorganized it is, how this and that. Like, now I feel like failure has pushed me to a point where now I'm finding happiness in negative energy, right? I'm finding peace in failure. I do not trust things that go well. Why are they going well? They want me to feel comfortable, and then I get another surprise hit that will break me. So I'd rather struggle, no yana, than cruise nicely. Right. So fourth year happened, and then Ops and Gynae happened. Okay, Ops and neonatology happened, fine. Fourth year.
Honestly, I just feel like, you know what, Jay, I just don't know now.
Fourth year. Oh. All these other years, I was able to have highs and lows. Not extreme highs, but highs and extreme lows, right? But now I'm just experiencing lows. I don't get any academic validation. I'm just here for vibes. And throughout the other years, even if now I can watch my other videos from first year and third year, I would say I was naive. I thought I was struggling there. But what I'm experiencing now, it's pure agony, guys. It's evil. It's disgusting. It's the most painful thing I've ever experienced in my life, right? Because yes, I was able to slacking in other years and be like, oh, I'm lazy and whatnot. But I would survive in and whatnot. No, Yana, I'm putting so much effort, but it doesn't show. This year is so painful. It's the highest, the deepest hell I've ever experienced so far, right? Because, you know, I've never had so many failures in life. So many failures that are now consecutive. They're just, it's one after another. Without a break, you guys. Without a break, it's one after another. And the only thing you are happy about is every time you finish something, you're just like, at least I finished. La of test, you just like, at least if it's a block here, I'll see what I can do later. I have so much to do. I'm doing something different in the morning to what I'm doing in the afternoon, right? So that's another failure, one other failure that I experienced, trying to balance. And you can see that ever since from first year and second year, the transition is a lot. There are a lot of transition changes that I have to do. Changing from a science modules to a block, to blocks where you write daily, you write weekly, you write like this. And then from that, you go to second year where you have to do anatomy. You go to the labs, you have to see dead bodies, you have to dissect them, you have to, like, there are a lot of changes to now doing OSCEs where you have to cram a checklist and perform in front of someone who's marking you. Like, there are a lot of changes to now being in a third year, no yana. There's LCAS also. You have to go to the community. You have to go to do home visits. You have to, like, we are juggling so many things at once. We do virology, we're doing other people's degrees, we're doing pharmacology in intense pharmacology at a very unrealistic short period of time. Who does anatomy for 2 months? So, to be honest, it's not nice. We come to 4th year now. In the morning, every day, Monday to Friday, you have to be in the hospital. Whether you are sick, whether you don't feel like coming, you have to be there. You have to show up. To this year's theme is showing up. Whether you dead inside or you show up, and you need to give 100. Sometimes you give 100 to a certain concept. Another concept, and if you don't know that concept, what do you get? You get yelled at her when are you not studying. So we are not okay as 4th years. We are experiencing so much trauma. It's not even a joke. It's not a joke. And then it's only been 3 months, but I feel like I'm at the end of the year, guys, because I'm tired. I am so tired, and this week I'm on recess. Here, it's Friday, guys. What have I done? Nothing. I've done nothing. I've been trying to rest. Rest means sleeping, being on my bed and doing nothing. Gives me so much bliss. It gives me pure bliss. The only problem is now sitting on the bed and whatnot. My body's in pain from I have to change the side and whatnot. Like, I don't know, I'm not finding happiness in things that should give me happiness, like sleeping. Sleeping hides some happiness because I'm also in pain. Like, things I thought I'm good at are now challenging me. I'm triggered by everything. When I did that so small, they trigger me. And I'm at a point where I want to stand up for myself every time, because clearly the system is not standing up for me. It's not doing any justice for me. So standing up for myself in other aspects of life, that's the only thing that's giving me validation of how I'm worth being a human being. But again, it's so difficult because you also have imposter syndrome. You have this, you always blame yourself about everything because you are also gaslighted every day. Oh, you're useless, you don't know the work, you don't know. Even if you're putting effort, you can't see what effort exactly are you putting because there's no results. You're putting a lot of effort, but no results are showing up. So yeah, it's not nice being a 4th year medical student, but like I said, that I find happiness in my pain right now. The smallest things give me so much happiness. Like, for instance, create a signature. You just like, yes, I got a signature from the hospital because I've done that. At least I've attended that. You just like, at least I've done this. At least I did this. Those are the only things. No, you're not implying happiness. Academic validation doesn't help. I'm just like, at least I've done this. At least I completed. As long as I can complete things. Like, no, Yana. When I finished my urology presentation, I was like, thank God I'm finished. But I have a test to write also on that same day. I was like, okay, on to another. I can't be happy that I'm done with my presentation and whatnot. So, yeah, we are in a year where we now have to present, know how to reason, know how to talk, know how to stand up for yourself, how to justify everything. Whatever you do, you have to justify it. Why are you doing it? And we are scared. They're just like, yeah, we're expecting you as a doctor. I'm in my 4th year. Please teach me as a 4th year, not as a registrar, not as a doctor. Teach me. I'm still young. You can't say in your 20s where someone is 12 years old. So I am expected to imagine being a doctor where else I don't even have any skills and necessary skills to be called a doctor at this point. But how I'm taught to be a doctor. Yes, I do understand that. Mara Okase expect the same effort I'm putting to be the same way as registrars. When you get to the hospital, that's where you see how everyone is equal. We are treated the same. Doctors are treated the same as SICs. SICs are treated the same as fourth years. We are equal. Doesn't matter what knowledge you have, how the amount of knowledge you have, because even consultants, they'll ask doctors things that they ask us. Okay, ectopic pregnancy, tell me about ectopic pregnancy. And the same Reg that was shouting at you for not knowing ectopic pregnancy, now he's being shouted by the consultant. Guys, it's a hellhole.
Kante maravira lang hawa.
I can't believe I was excited to be a medical student. I was so stressed. I wanted to be here, and finally when I got the acceptance letter, I was so happy. I was so happy. I was like, finally, I'm where I belong. But where I belong is rejecting me. What right? But also, when you get to your fourth year, you are at a point where you are dying. You are 50% dead. Or you know what? We are getting immune every day. And what scares me is, now, if I am dying inside, how will I be able to be compassionate to my patients when I'm now finally a doctor? And being shouted at so much every day, just like being told how useless you are, it's painful. But on the brighter side, after graduating, go dira the BBL, guys. Go dira BBL lipo. I cannot consider liposuction because I don't have any fat. But BBL on the one say the bonus I got something to kana. Go dira necessary. I'm going to eat my man because I can't be going through so much trauma for no reason. I understand. Yeah, I just wanted. I just wanted to vent and just talk about a little bit of what I'm going through. And another painful part is that this week it's supposed to be my recess. I'm just supposed to rest. We're supposed to rest. My peers are studying because why? Rakwala next week, immediately after recess, Friday, I think Rakwala, we have to write. Is it Friday or when? Yeah, we are writing. So I haven't been studying and I haven't been feeling bad. I need to rest. When am I resting? At the end of the day, I am still a human being and I need rest. I need love. I need compassion. I need to laugh. Yeah. So if you also die, you feel like, guys, talking to someone helps. Being around friends help. Laughing, I don't know if it will help everyone, but just know you are not alone. I know this is a form of gaslighting, but just know that we are struggling and the world is against us, right? And the only thing we can do now is sometimes you just have to be ignorant. You just have to be avoid certain things for your energy, for your sanity. Avoid a lot of things. If other things, now I would rather now a thing that needs to take up all my energy now. It's school. That's the only thing. If families bumper stress, I'm cutting them off. Friends, if they give me stress, guys, get some more because I need this degree. So honestly, medical school, you are sacrificing so much. You are sacrificing a lot. Relationships, you're sacrificing things that make you happy are now just like require a lot of energy. So like, I can have energy for this. If you loved painting, now you just like it needs energy. I have none, because now 70% of the energy or 80% of the energy was spent on academics. It's spent on academics. Then last 20% was for you to shower, brush your teeth, do laundry, clean your space, cook, eat. Okay, that's the only thing. It's domestic chores, school. That's the only thing. Chores, school. Chores, school. Going out, it needs money. Do you have money? Okay, maybe you have money, but do you have the energy to do that? I'll feel like you're thinking, oh, who's got? Can I have a test next week? We are writing clearly it feels like we are writing every day, every week actually. In a week you can write 3 times a week or twice. So I'm tired. Yes. Yeah. Yes, guys. So that is the end of my mini venting session and talking about failures. The kind of failures I've been experiencing, and going from fear of failure to be like, okay, what's the degree? What's the severity of my failure? And be like, okay, I failed, yes, but can I recover from this? Can I be able to find something that can help me to at least boost my failure? I think that's what I'm doing now. Okay, I'm assessing the degree of failure. I'm living with failure, but the only thing I'm doing is assessing the failure and be like, is it more severe? Can I be able to survive even with this failure? That's the only thing I'm doing and it's been working, but I'm just like, how much will I tolerate this? Will I be able to? How much can I take in? Right? So yeah. Disclaimer, I don't need help. I get talking to so. I am just talking, and I get talking to so honestly. Don't be like, oh God, how are you? You feel like I need help. I don't need help, guys. I don't need help. I get oh, I'm sorry, guys. I don't care. I really don't care about sorry, because sorry will not help my situation right now. The only thing I have to do, it is part of life to experience challenges. When you are in your adulthood, that's where you get shocked. I believe that even you guys, when you are in your 20s, you do experience such things. We might experience it differently, but if I'm able to survive even now, that means this is the degree of flops I can handle. So I believe all of us, we have our own flops that we can handle. And big ups to you for still surviving. Bye.